Hey, what is up, everybody?
And welcome back to Mile Higher Podcast, episode 318. I'm your host, Kendall.
And I'm Josh.
Wow, what's that supposed to be, like French?
Yes.
Joel.
Lots of accents today. Just
good.
kidding.
I wonder how Josh would actually be pronounced in France.
That's a good question.
Would it just be Josh?
Jacques.
Is it
Jacques?
Jacques?
I don't know.
I thought that's Jack.
That's Jack.
Yeah. Josh?
Jush.
Josh?
Jush.
Josh.
Jush.
Well,
That sounds about right.
I bet you guys anything. There's someone out there who can let us know. But anyway, we are also joined by our production team, Janelle and Ian.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Oui, oui.
We are
Bonjour.
not doing any sort of French case or story today, just to be
No.
clear. This is totally random.
Hey,
This is how our brains be
this
going.
is how the sesh starts every week.
Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very, very interesting episode, depending on who you are and how scared you get.
Yeah, we got to get into the Halloween
Yeah,
spirit.
it's October already.
It is. It
You know,
sure
pumpkin
is.
spice lattes
Oh my God.
are back, baby.
Those are disgusting.
One of you was drinking that yesterday.
I
Josh
love
loves
pumpkin spice.
Got it.
and pumpkin bread and all the pumpkin things.
I'm a pumpkin spice fiend. Like, I'll eat anything, drink anything pumpkin
He
spice.
loves the PSL.
Yes,
Aw.
I'm really into pumpkin spice smoothie bowls, baby.
Oh yeah, you are. Been hitting those hard, yeah.
From where?
Good smoothie bowl places. I had a
Really?
bad one recently, and it really
Dude,
crushed
he
me.
had like a fit over it. It was crazy.
Of course he did.
I had a
He was
meltdown.
like, "This place is awful."
It's just like, you know, it's always disappointing when the graphic
We're really
looks
gonna go into
so
this.
different. It was like orange. It looked like a pumpkin in a bowl. And then I got it and it was like a milk smoothie in a bowl and it just had no flavor. I was just disappointed that I didn't get the pumpkin spice I was looking for.
It's disappointing. I feel for you.
It's hard. Every time I go to the grocery store, I want to get everything pumpkin spice, the cookies, the bread. But then I'm like, no, don't do that to yourself.
Yeah.
So,
You rock with pumpkin seeds?
oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I love some good
Mhm.
salted
Me too.
pumpkin
Especially the
seeds.
homemade ones.
Yeah, with some olive oil?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that sounds good right now.
Old Bay seasoning,
Oh, fuck.
Yes.
Shit.
Mhm.
It's so good.
cinnamon.
Oh.
cinnamon sugar.
Everything about this time of year is great. It's just the weather's getting cooler. It gets darker earlier.
No, that's depressing.
I hate that part
It's
of it.
incredible. It's just like so nostalgic for me to feel like fall and everything is just scarier.
Yeah.
Every story you hear is just scarier because it's October.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's
So
right.
yeah, get ready for this one. And the way we're going to do this one is the stories I'm going to present are new to Kendall.
Yeah, we haven't done anything like this ever, or I feel like we have at some point. Like had me
Probably.
react to something.
Yeah. So the interesting thing about these stories is Kendall will be determining whether or not she thinks they are real stories or are they hoaxes.
Mm.
So did they actually happen? Is there any truth to them? Or is it just complete bogus made up? And I've got some good ones here. And some of these will honestly a little surprising. They may not be what you think they are. So,
Okay, all right, I'm ready. Got my bullshit hat on.
but yes. But before we get into the first story, I just wanted to say that we are a finalist in the Signal Podcast Awards, which is
yes, we are.
very exciting. And, you know, what's cool about it is this is a kind of relatively new awards for podcasts. It's only the third time they've done this, but it's quickly becoming the leading sort of like award platform for podcasts because there really wasn't one before. And so it's judged, these podcasts are judged by industry professionals and media, you know, big wigs at media companies and other experts kind of in the industry. And so what's very cool is that 3 of our shows were selected as finalists for the true crime category as well as the paranormal category,
Yeah, super grateful.
yeah.
And that's thanks to you guys.
with Mile Higher being in the true crime category, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And what's cool about it is the judges will determine the winner for the category, but there's a listener's choice award. So basically, if you go to the link, which will be below in the show notes or description, you can actually vote and help us win that listener's choice award, which would be so awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you in advance.
Yes,
if
thank
you're
you
willing
so
to do it. It
much.
takes 2 seconds. But yeah, very exciting stuff. It's always cool to see the work recognized.
Yeah.
And
Thanks,
you know,
Signal. Pretty awesome.
really, really cool stuff. So check that out. Our first story comes from Christmas 2013.
Mm.
As you remember, Do you remember 13 very well?
I do, of course.
We are 1 year removed from the Mayan doomsday prophecy.
That's exactly what came to my mind.
2012. Obama had officially started the first year of his second term.
Things were good.
Mm-hmm.
And the entire world really was gripped in this stranglehold by one song. Let it go, let it go.
Oh, God.
Do you remember
Yeah.
how big?
Oh, it's been 11 years since Frozen came out.
Yep.
Hmm.
It was released just in time for the holiday season, in
Yep.
fact.
It was.
Parents were, we weren't parents then, but I can only imagine how crazy it must have been to try and go get your hands on some Frozen toys and accessories
Mm-hmm.
for your kids. I mean, everybody wanted the Frozen related toys.
They still sell it now.
Yeah.
Holly has a little Frozen
Aren't they
action
making
figure.
a new Frozen?
I think so. Probably.
I think they're always making a new Frozen.
Yeah.
Till the end of time.
It was a
Mhm.
massive hit. Massive hit.
I feel like there's better things out there than Frozen.
I agree. I'm not a Frozen fan.
But there was one doll that every child wanted, a little Elsa who sang Let It Go when you pressed a button on her necklace.
Yep.
Madonia, a mother who lived in Houston, Texas area, secured one of these singing Elsas as a Christmas gift to her daughter. And of course, the little girl was thrilled, pressing the button over and over again.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm. In a way that I'm sure would annoy any parent. The little girl loved this Elsa as she carried it everywhere with her. She drew on it with markers, left damage on the doll lovingly, and whenever she wanted to hear her favorite song, all she had to do was press the button on the necklace. But then 2 years after the family first purchased the doll, something strange began to happen. At random, instead of singing the familiar English lyrics to Let It Go, the doll would sing, Libre soy, no puedo ocultarlo más, before reciting the whole song in Spanish, which translates to, if you're wondering,
Mm-hmm.
and this could be a completely bad translation. I did use Google Translate for this.
I'm guessing it doesn't say let it go.
It says, I am free. I can't hide it anymore.
Which is pretty close.
Pretty
that's-
close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't hold it back anymore.
Yeah. I am free.
I am free.
Let it
Libre
go.
soy. Libre soy.
Yeah,
Libre
I'd like
soy.
kind of in the same realm of vibe.
Yeah, and Madonia, the mother, didn't really have any issue with that.
I was expecting it to be something horrific. Just really like something perverted or
That'd
creepy.
be awesome.
Yeah. So that's a pleasant surprise to me.
Yeah, well, the mom wasn't that worried about it. She was like, oh, it's probably good for my daughter to,
Yeah.
hear a
I am
different
free.
language. Yeah, I am free. I can't hide it anymore. It was just strange because there was no switch on the doll to switch it into Spanish.
Hmm.
So it just seemingly did it at random. And
It's like
sometimes,
when Buzz Lightyear, that happens to him.
yeah, exactly. And sometimes it would just randomly switch into Spanish in the middle of the song. Like she'd press the necklace and then just start in English and then start singing in Spanish and then be in English again. So it's just doing
She's
this.
bilingual. We love it.
Yeah, exactly. But after 6 years of owning the Spanglish doll, the family had never once changed its batteries, and they would turn it off to conserve power. But even powered off, the doll would suddenly say, Libre soy. I am free. So powered off. That's pretty weird. If any of our daughter's toys started making noises, let alone saying interesting things in other languages,
And it's not turned.
and it's not turned on.
So wait, were they changing the batteries?
No,
they
they just
planning
had
to?
never changed it, and then they powered it off when they weren't using it.
Okay. And they were using it for 6 years?
Yeah.
That was a beloved toy.
Mm-hmm. So in December of 2019, the family decided it was time to get rid of this doll. Time to say Libre Soy to the doll. And
I am
so,
free. Let her be free.
so yeah, they went and they put the doll in the dumpster, took it to the curb,
You
and then
don't
they
do
thought that
that.
was it.
Mm-mm.
But then, weeks later, while going through a storage area inside a bench in the family's living room, they heard those words, Libre Soy, Libre Soy.
Oh shit, she came back in.
Mm-hmm.
Said you wouldn't get me.
But upon further inspection of this doll they find in the bench, it's the same doll they purchased in 2013. And the reason they know this is because of the markers, as we know.
Oh, yeah.
Drawing all over the doll. So now what's interesting about the doll is that it no longer sings in English at all, only Spanish. And so they're like, I thought we got rid of this doll. Let's truly get rid of it this time. So Madonia's husband double bagged the doll and then placed it at the bottom of the garbage to be taken away. Trash day came and the family traveled for vacation. And when they returned a week later, the doll was nowhere to be seen. And they thought that, oh God, this Elsa nightmare is over with.
They were considering all that an Elsa nightmare.
Yes.
Elsa nightmare is a crazy way to put it.
It is.
But that was until Madonia's daughter went into the backyard and found her old friend leaning against the house, singing those familiar lyrics, Libre soy, libre soy. So no matter what they do, the doll finds its way out of the garbage and back at the house. So, is this doll haunted? And is this a true story? Or is it a hoax?
Fuck no. It's a hoax.
Interesting.
What? It's real? No, it's not.
It's so real, in fact, that it made the news.
What?
Check this out.
Ojalá jugáramos a la nieve todo el tiempo.
She sounds nice.
Hacer magia con nieve juntas es muy divertido. A mi hermana Ana y a mí nos gusta jugar en la nieve.
Dude, she's in great condition, too. She doesn't look like she's 6 years old. Where's the marker?
That's what I was wondering.
Elsa de Arlen. Eres increíble. ¿Jugamos otra vez? Nieve y hielo a brillar el sorbeno.
What is she saying all here?
It's just a bunch of crap. I
Really?
don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I know they're all lines from the movie.
Oh, they are?
Mhm.
Okay, all right.
Would you guys be fine if you had a haunted doll that Holly brought home and just started randomly speaking Spanish? If it sounded that
Absolutely.
cheerful?
Where they fucked up is just throwing it out, especially a beloved toy that you keep around for 6 years. You donate that. You know,
That's a good
haven't you
point.
seen Toy Story? You give them another chance at life. She's in great condition. She's probably just wants to come back and be like, fuck you. Why are you tossing me to the curb like I'm some trash? I provided 6 years of entertainment for your kid.
You know, one time my mom took a bunch of our toys to Goodwill without telling us.
Hell
and,
no.
Mm-mm.
But we didn't even notice because we were in like middle school at this point.
Mm.
But then they took us, like a week later, my mom took us to Goodwill. And I was like, holy shit,
That's
that,
mine.
Yeah, I got that at home. And she was like, no, you don't. was like,
That's
Fuck,
awesome.
man.
I feel like every parent does that. Oh, I've already donated some of Holly's toys too. She never noticed. You just take the ones they're least interested in at the moment.
Or the ones that annoy you the most.
Well, this was a big deal in their house.
So I think with this story, this could go either way.
Mhm.
It's a true story in the sense that, according to them, it actually happened. But is
Did
it
it?
possible that they hoaxed this story?
I think they're lying.
Yeah, I think they're
Because-
lying. Okay, so that is an option. Still think it's a hoax.
Yeah, it kind of seems that way unless everything they say is 100% true. According to them, after the doll showed up the final time, they actually shipped the doll to a friend of theirs in Minnesota. And when they received it, they said, quote, Elsa made it to Minnesota and is now taped to the brush guard of my Jeep. If anything weird happens, I'm welding her into a steel pipe and sinking it in the lake of the woods. And they attached a photo.
They're making this doll haunted by torturing it. They could have just found a loving child in their neighborhood and given it to them.
Well, it's like, I think for any time someone claims that something is haunted, especially a doll, where like we need some proof, right? And so the proof, and what's crazy is that, and the reason why I consider a true story somewhat is because it was believable enough to the news that the Houston News did a story on it.
Dude, they'll cover anything. They'll cover it's a local news. And it was a slow day. Crazy Elsa story. Tune in at 6.
Haunted Elsa doll. Dolls could be haunted.
I think the news trolls people. They know shit's fake, but they go out and they film it anyway 'cause
Well,
it's going to do well. And
it's
it's
gonna
like,
get
it ends up kind of
clicks.
funny the way that they edit it and like speak over it.
I think this story would have been
Can I see the news clip? Do we have that?
far better. I thought that was the news.
Yeah, that's it. There's not like a full-on interview.
Oh, it's just
that article with
it's just an article. They'll report on anything.
Because again, the only evidence of this even happening is pictures of the doll in the various locations they claim to have found her in. And then they have the video, but then you don't even hear the lines that they kept saying she would say over and over again. You know what I mean? I think that clip would have been far more compelling if Elsa was saying libre soy over and over again. You know what I mean? All that proved was that she knows Spanish. Like she got the Spanish chip, you know, in the toy.
Yeah, maybe it just came like that.
Well, they said it was English at first, and then it just somehow switched into
How come
Spanish.
she looks so clean after being in the dump?
In the trash?
Yeah.
Good questions.
Well, I guess she was double bagged to make sure she doesn't
That's
get
a good
out.
point. I mean, you could double bag anything, it would stay clean. That's a fact.
They were hoping like if they did 2 bags, she wouldn't be able to dig her way out and crawl back in. I'm going to say hoax.
Yeah.
No offense.
You know, this is bringing back. We started this episode all French-like, if you can remember all the way back then. But I forgot that we had like a C-3PO doll that but we got it in Paris when I was like a little kid. And I swear to God, he spoke French, but then like you could shock him and he screamed in French too. He'd be like, "Sacre bleu!" You know, it was fucking nuts.
That's hilarious.
That's awesome. You just get a special edition.
Yeah.
You know?
Now he's in pieces, but he's around somewhere. And he still works. If you stab him, he screams.
Dude, one time
stab him.
I had this doll named Potty Dottie. Shout out.
Oh,
Potty
I
Dottie.
remember
shit.
Potty Dottie.
Potty Dottie, you'd give her water, and then she'd be like, I have to go pee pee. And then if you didn't bring her to her thing, she would pee. And I was like, I need Potty Dottie to go to the neighborhood pool with me and swim. And my dad was like, Potty Dottie's going to stop working if you do that. And I was like, it's fine. So Potty Dottie and I went to the pool. We swam, had a great time. She stopped working, except for sometimes she would make sound, but it sounded like a demon inside of her. I think like the little speaker was like severely water damaged.
I need to go
It'd be like,
potty.
It's like, it's insane sounding. So, you know, maybe.
See,
So-
when
so
we
that type of
torture our toys, they become haunted.
Right. It could just be like defects that happen from normal use. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Rather than claiming it's haunted.
Remember my sister had a haunted doll experience? My sister was really into, what was that show? Beast Boy and Starfire.
Teen Titans.
Dude,
Teen
was
Titans.
so lit.
Annalie was big on Teen Titans, and she had the action figures, and she hung them up. I think she was trying to like make them fly in our trees, but she hung them by their necks in the tree.
Oh, my.
And then she had collected all of them, couldn't find one of them, and then she found it a year later, still hanging in the tree. Nothing happened, but she was terrified. She had to go to like therapy over it because she was like, I left it hanging in the tree an entire year. It was out there in the cold. You torture your toys, like, you know.
They come for you.
Yeah.
They haunt you.
Mm-hmm.
Truly.
Mm-hmm. People, fall has officially fallen. It's October. And so that means you want that cozy. You want those sweaters and you want the meals to eat while you're trying to get cozy. You know, the soups, the pumpkin spice, from hearty dinners to game day snacks. HelloFresh has got a variety of recipes and flavors to perfectly accompany fall. You know, Josh and I love HelloFresh. It just makes our life so much easier, not having to think about what we're going to have for dinner, but still be able to get something healthy and easy on the table for us and our daughter. And it's allowed us to cut back on waste because HelloFresh delivers all of the pre-portioned ingredients that you need to make an easy homemade meal. I always hated when I would try to find a recipe to use and then they were asking for a very small amount of something I don't usually use, and therefore I had to just throw the rest out because it was going to go bad. But they provide everything you need. You don't have to think about anything. All the proteins, the veggies, the sauces, the spices, all arrive in your box with simple instructions, and they walk you through an easy step-by-step in the cooking process. Anyone can do it. And it's so good. We have so many favorites that it makes it hard for us to narrow down what we're going to choose for each week. I'm telling you, you got to check out HelloFresh. Get 10 meals for free at HelloFresh.com/freemilehigher. That's applied across 7 boxes. New subscribers only. Varies by plan. That's 10 free HelloFresh meals just by going to HelloFresh.com/freemilehigher. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit.
All right. Well, let's pivot to this next story. This one is very mysterious. I'm curious to see what you think here, because this is, I don't know if there's really an answer. There's honestly, to be fair, there's really not an answer to some of these. So,
Okay.
Because we still don't necessarily know, but I'm curious to see what your first thoughts are on it. So,
Okay.
the leaves were changing during the fall of 2007 in Firecrest, Washington. 16-year-old Courtney Kirkendall had just gotten the first generation iPhone. And like any teenager, it was their first phone and they loved it. And to get the iPhone for your first phone
Dude, yeah.
was super, super cool if you had one. And obviously, she showed it off to her friends, her neighbors, and anyone else who was interested. And we have to remember, the first iPhone was an absolutely massive deal. Like I remember when my close buddy, he was the first one of all of our friends to get one. And we were just all like, dude, that is so cool.
Fucking crazy.
You got an iPod and a phone.
All in one. Yes, I remember that so well. I was in line at Subway with my friend and she had one and she whipped it out and she was showing me like the album art where you could scroll. Remember how you could scroll through your albums?
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was
I love
the
that
coolest
feature.
thing.
That was so cool to
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
that was a big deal.
Some of us probably don't even remember the fact that you had to have a separate device for music and then you'd have your phone.
Yeah, that's crazy. No one has that anymore, really.
No, everything's all in one. Now you don't even need a computer. You have your computer, your phone, your MP3 player.
Dude, sometimes I wish I had my MP3 player so that like when you're working out or something or you're trying to just disconnect, you don't have your phone also blasting you with stuff while you're listening to music.
That's why you do not disturb.
That's true.
Which your phone is always on.
You're right. My phone lives there.
Yeah, what do you mean about bothering you on your phone?
I do not like to be bothered.
So she was pretty lit about her new smartphone. And also, like, when the iPhone first came out, the iOS software was all new. You know what I mean? Like, so it was very different, very, very complex, advanced for phone operating systems at that time, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you remember, I mean, I had like a Nokia flip phone for a long time and it was like so basic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was no apps or anything like that.
Dude,
it was just
I'm saying better times
features.
though.
Yeah, it was a much simpler world.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why at first Courtney wasn't too worried when her phone began sending texts on its own. And maybe it was just a quirk with the new software or something. But the tech was so new that they thought maybe an update would just fix it. And the texts weren't threatening or anything at first. It would just send a simple, hey, but that never stopped. So the phone is just sending out messages and they don't know why. But soon, the phone started texting Courtney's family members with the details of their current locations, descriptions of their clothes, and even a timeline of where they had been that day.
Oh, that's not good.
Pretty creepy, right?
Very creepy.
Then they received the first phone call with the caller ID that read restricted.
Oh boy, it begins.
And so, during this phone call, in a scratchy voice, this restricted whoever this was would describe to Courtney what she was wearing and where she was in the house if she was home at the time.
Oh my God.
But pretty soon it wasn't just the Kirkendalls who were getting spammed by the fake calls. Their neighbor, Andrea McKay, received a call while cutting limes from her kitchen, and she answered the phone and that same scratchy voice on the other end said, quote, "I prefer lemons."
Ew.
So it seems like they're being watched, right?
Ooh.
So these guys, after the first wave of texts and calls, the Kirkendalls contacted the Firecrest police. And again, it's 2007, and the police definitely weren't that well versed in cybercrime at that point in time. All this technology is so new, and this is a small town. So, you know, even going to have even less resources. So they first tried tracing the calls, but all attempts only led back to the family's own phones. They even tried turning the phones off while neighbors received the calls, but still they traced back to the Kirkendalls' phones. But then the calls got worse. The scratchy voice started threatening everything in their life, including plans to carry out a school shooting. The voice then said, quote, "You're going to die. We hate you. We're going to murder you and your pets."
Oh, shit.
So
this
very
just got
serious.
way worse.
Yeah. The family claims that they even tried switching their numbers, getting new phones, anything that led this restricted caller off of their trail. But then the call stopped featuring the scratchy voice, but instead private conversations between family members. So they get a restricted call and now they're hearing literally other conversations being had by other people in their family, which is very wild.
What the hell?
They even once received a voicemail that was a recorded conversation between them and the detective working on their case.
Oh. Well, the detective's for sure going to have to believe that then.
Mm-hmm.
And can he vouch for this?
That's a good question. Then, just as the Kirkendalls were, completely enveloped with fear, Their story fell off of the map, and it's unknown if the police continued with this investigation or if the restricted kept tormenting the family. So perhaps the restricted caller of Firecrest, Washington is still out there, recording someone's every move. And again, this is a mystery. We still don't know. You think this really happened?
That's where it ends?
Mm-hmm.
No updates or anything?
No,
No
it just
updates.
completely...
We don't know if it's still happening to them?
No, and a lot of people try to figure this one out.
After this like initial spam of recording, the Kirkendalls just like totally stopped talking to media. Like after it was being reported on for a while, they just gone.
Do we know if they're alive?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, as much as you can. They certainly there's been no news of them dying or anything.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So maybe they got a little, maybe it was a hoax. They got a little too caught up in it and they're like, we should, it'd be embarrassing if people found out it wasn't real.
Right. And I think the majority of people believe that they hoaxed this. Either
Yeah.
that or it's possible that somebody may have cloned phones. I mean, there's a lot of different hacks and exploits that could have been used to pull these types of things off.
Could it have been, I know it was popular to jailbreak your phone, which I just learned you can still do that. But could it be like that type of a situation?
One possibility here, and looking at like what technology professionals think, is a lot of them think this was just an elaborate hoax set up by Courtney. And that some of these claimed things didn't necessarily happen, because in order for them to happen, to pull that off, the type of hack that would have had to be employed in order to do this would have been like pretty advanced, right?
So maybe Courtney started this as a fun little prank, got a little out of hand, and then she confessed to them. And they're like, oh, well, we don't want to embarrass you by letting everyone know.
Could be, or a lot of people think literally this was like a neighbor who was doing this to them. Somebody who was in the vicinity that was able to see what they were doing inside their houses and stuff. So
And then
there's still a possibility
yeah.
there was a creepy person actually doing this, like fucking with them.
And maybe it is true and they didn't want to keep talking about it because it would give that person, maybe like, we just need to like ignore this so this will stop, kind of a thing.
Right.
And they didn't want to keep drawing attention to it
Right.
to like fuel the fire. That's tough. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a couple different possibilities. One, we don't know definitively if this was a hoax or if this was actually like a stalker or some type of hacker, perhaps, that was taking advantage of this new technology. Because when Apple first came out with their phones, there was tons of vulnerabilities and exploits that would have been fairly easy to figure out. Especially in those early days, jailbreaking your phone was like super easy to do. You know, you could kind of pick apart the operating system a lot easier than you can today. And so it's very possible that this was either a hacker, but again, a hacker would have had to have all these hacks in order to access the microphone, access the camera. You know what I mean? In order to see and record conversations that are happening, there would have had to be a lot of like...
What if like a rogue Apple employee set it up before they sold it?
Okay, that would be crazy.
Maybe. Back in the day?
Back in the day. Back in the day, who knows what the fuck Apple employees were
That's what
getting
I'm
up to.
saying.
Did you guys ever hit the good old fashioned *67?
Oh, of course. How else would you prank call?
That's I know. Who's gonna raw dog a prank call without *67?
No,
Right?
mm-mm.
You gotta hit that.
Yeah, always. Does that still work?
Yep.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, remember when Sue Dillon came on?
Oh yeah, we had a professional prank caller on our show, and she had to do that.
No way. You had a crank yanker on the show?
Yeah,
was so
she was
fun.
great on
Yeah.
the sesh. Yeah, she's hilarious. Sue Dillon, shouts out.
She has a ton of followers on TikTok.
Sarah Gray,
Yeah.
right? Is her name? Yeah, she's super funny. But anyway,
That's all I want to say. I missed *67. I remember like ordering a friend's house like 20 pizzas.
dude,
It was the best time of my life.
were they delivered?
Yeah, they were. And then they were like, I'm not paying for that. And the guy's like, well, I got 20 fucking pizzas.
Oh my god, I'd be so pissed if I was a delivery person.
Yeah, dude. I mean, now that I look back, I'm like,
Yeah.
you're hauling like 3 tons of pizza to some stranger's
crazy.
house.
We used to prank call the grocery store all the time when I was a kid, me and my friends, and like ask them dumb shit like, can you tell us every single brand of shampoo you have? And they would like be like, okay, and then start
Oh,
like
that
listing them off.
sucks.
I know, we were assholes.
One of my favorite podcasts, Joy Tactics.
Ooh, Joy Tactic.
They're very funny. They do this thing called thank calls.
Thank calls.
They do thank calls. It's
That's
so
amazing.
funny.
They call and thank people?
They'll call like random businesses like gyms, and they were like, "Hey, I just wanted to let you guys know that they've never been to, like in different states.
Yeah.
Like I just want to let you know that I was there a couple of weeks ago, and it was the best experience I've ever had in a gym before."
Oh my god.
And the people on the other end are always just like, "Oh my god, thank you so much."
That's so nice.
It's so
I want to
nice.
do some thank calls.
It's funny, dude. It's
Sounds like a good uplifting activity.
It's great. It's great.
Oh, yeah, we might need to hit that up.
I think another possibility though with this story, I was just thinking like is it's possible because again, like with limited information, it's hard to like if I had all the evidence in front of me and like the logs and everything, you probably like figure out fairly easily. And that's I think likely this was something not as nefarious, whether it was a neighbor or maybe somebody just like picking on Courtney or something at school, or you know, a lot of kids were kind of like techie back then and were interested in like figuring out ways to like exploit their phones. So it's possible
Nothing worse than a techie bully.
Exactly. Or social engineering as well, where rather than somebody hacking you, they gain access to your device or private information via like, this is like the most common cybercrime in the world, where somebody calls and then they sort of manipulate you and, you know, pry information out of you, ask you a series of questions to divulge personal information that they then turn around and use against you to get more information and really access to your device. So a lot of tech experts think this was like more of a social engineering type thing. Either that or somebody was, you know, just fucking with Courtney.
Damn, I can't decide because I would feel bad saying it's a hoax completely if they really went through this. Sounds terrible.
Yeah, I
don't know if I can go hoax or not.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say without more evidence, but
yeah,
kind of seems like it leans more towards a hoax. I feel like when stories kind of fade away, you know.
But like in this situation, when you're dealing with a potential threat or a stalker or something, maybe it was best for them to like.
But again, the police did get involved.
Yeah, and maybe they were like, don't talk to the media about this.
Right. But it's also they did figure out that it was a hoax, and then it just doesn't make media after that. You know what I mean? The police eventually did figure out, oh, it was Courtney.
Wouldn't they tell people? Like, there's no threat. I don't know.
At ease.
At ease. Settle down out there.
I don't know.
All is well.
The only reason I lean towards hoax is just because of the recorded conversations. Because like that means that someone had to have been in the room with the detective in their home to record that, you know?
Yeah.
Which means it had to have either been a family member or one of the neighbors who was also being claiming that this was happening to them.
Yeah. Unless I don't know.
Unless they're restricted.
Yeah, that is a good point. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm 75% hoax, 25% possibly real.
Excellent.
What about you, Janelle? What do you think?
Yeah, I would agree. I would say I'm going mostly with hoax, but I feel there's a possibility it could be. Yeah, could have been real. If it's real, that's absolutely terrifying.
Yeah,
that's all I have to say about that.
Really suck.
It's like When a Stranger Calls.
Yeah,
that creepy movie.
Oh, I thought you were just saying like in real life. Like
No, have you seen that movie?
No.
Well, I saw it a long time ago, so I don't remember the exact.
That's like a very popular one.
Yes, it's surprising. It's one of the, I don't know, OG horror films. I don't know, but it was When a Stranger Called their house and was like threatening.
What year did that come out? Could this have been inspired by that?
They've had so many. No, the original one came out like
way before.
Oh, right. I've seen the original one.
The original is from 1979, and then they came out with one in 2006. That's the one that I've seen. Okay. And then I thought they came out with another one, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, they definitely came out with a
06, yeah.
Or maybe
2006. That is pretty soon.
Yeah,
frankly.
It's not that far from the date. But
so was this just an inspired movie prank or something?
Could be. Okay, well, let us know what you guys think. Definitely want to hear your thoughts.
If there's one service that has absolutely made my life so much easier, plus it saved me thousands of dollars over the years, and just the headache of having to drive to the post office, wait in line, And my God, it just feels like, I feel bad for the post office. They really need a remodel. They need a revamp, some new technology in there, because everything just takes so slow. We love the post office, but it's nice to be able to do everything that the post office can do right in the comfort and convenience of your own home or office. And that's why we love Stamps.com. Plus, they've been an awesome sponsor over the years. And we've used Stamps.com for, probably going on like 5 or 6 years now. I mean, pretty much ever since we started selling merch and any of our brands, we always use Stamps.com for all of our mailing and shipping needs. And they really make it so much easier. And you get discounts with them that you don't get anywhere else. We're talking up to 89% off USPS and UPS rates, which is just unheard of. And the beauty of it is all you need is a computer and a regular printer, and Stamps.com will even send you a free digital scale if you use our code in our link. You'll get that for free, which is awesome. So you'll have everything you need, start shipping, mailing, and then once you get your account set up, you can actually order package supplies, tape, you name it, whatever you need right from the dashboard. And so once you get all your packages all together, you can schedule a pickup right from your location. So you don't even have to walk out the front door. You can be mailing and shipping in your underwear if you want. It's not bothering anybody, and it's comfy, it's convenient. And plus, you're saving tons of money. So we love Stamps.com. There's no hours you got to adhere to. You can do it 24/7, 365 days a year. Free up more time for more important business with Stamps.com. Sign up at Stamps.com and enter code MileHigher for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, plus free postage and a free digital scale. There's no long-term commitments or contract. That's Stamps.com, code MileHigher. All right, let's move on to the next one. And this is known as the Charlie No Face legend. If you're somebody who grew up near Pittsburgh, you might have heard the stories of a green man who stalked the Pennsylvania highways at night.
A green man, like The Mask.
Sort of. Not quite the same look, but
okay.
We're talking about no face. So somebody with no face.
A green man with no face?
What'd you just say? The
Mask.
Oh, The Mask, right, with Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a face, though.
He got a big face.
It's a mask.
Yeah, it's a big, huge face.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a green man with no face.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So according to the legend, some say that he was burned alive and his skin melted. Others say that he was a victim of radioactivity at a nearby power plant, which turned his skin green for the rest of his life. Others say he was a swamp monster who crawled out and stalked the highways looking for prey.
Isn't that how Hulk kind of came into existence, from like a bomb or something?
Gamma radiation.
Yeah,
Yes,
radiation. Yeah,
that's right. Sort of the same.
It sounds inspired.
Mm-hmm. But many people out there claim to have met him, and that his ghostly shape can be seen to this day. And everyone who tells the story agrees on one thing. Whether a ghost, a monster, or a man, he had no face.
Mm.
And he has a bunch of different nicknames, but he's known as Charlie No Face. And sometimes, according to the legend, he would chase down cars. Other times he rides in the cars with teenagers. And so no matter the evening, obviously teenagers love to look into urban legends, right? They love to see if these things are real. I know that's fun thing for me. I wish I had more time to go figure out if these urban legends are real. Go out into the forest and look for
do your investigation.
Bigfoot. Yeah, just go try to see if you can spot these spectral creatures out there. So people, kids in the Pittsburgh area would hit the highways, drive around looking for Charlie No Face.
So no face. He looks like Voldemort, kind of. Is that kind of the vibe?
Could be.
But green. Voldemort, but green.
Could be.
Okay.
Voldemort had eyes, though. He just
he didn't have a nose, really.
Yeah, Charlie no nose.
No, I thought at first he didn't have a face because he had to be on the other dude's head.
He was, well, that's true. But he had, he
still had a face. He just was like a tumor on the guy's head.
Oh.
He was just like a part of his
right.
head.
When he, right. Okay. Yeah.
I know it's been a while.
It's been a while, yeah.
Roll the clip.
I need to rewatch those.
Well, let's show you a picture of what we've been talking about.
Okay.
And see what you think.
Oh, looks like Ronald Reagan a little bit. Doesn't it? Just that was my first thought. Just like the general, if that was a flashed out picture of Ronald Reagan, like a paparazzi pic he wasn't ready for.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking scary, but also looks fake to me.
Mm.
It looks a little Photoshoppy.
Kind of looks like Mickey Mouse.
And why isn't it in color? What year is this again?
Throughout time.
So this has
this
been
is not
for-
dated.
This is
Okay.
I don't think we know exactly when this picture was taken.
Like, of course, how convenient that it's black and
but
white.
the Charlie No Face legend has been around for like 100 years. Like
Okay.
people have
People go hard on this one.
been seeing him
Mm.
all the time, all over the place.
He's
in the
scary.
Pittsburgh area,
He's scary.
allegedly.
He kind of does look like Voldemort, though. It's just really his nose, because he has an outline of a mouth and his eyes, and I guess Voldemort had eyes, but
Well, this story is true.
no. How to prove it?
that's a real photo.
That is a real photo. In
Okay,
fact,
could be a real photo of someone with makeup.
no. Here's the story.
Okay. What?
Yes, in August 1919, 8-year-old Ray Robinson saw a bird's nest perched on a tree next to a trolley trestle, which is a power line for a trolley. And he wanted to take a closer look, so he climbed the trestle. However, he accidentally touched a power line that powered the trolley, and he was severely electrocuted.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Wait, really?
yeah.
So it's a documented story of something that happened.
Yes, this person is real.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so the 8-year-old boy is now.
Yes, this is a picture of him later on in life that somebody captured.
Okay. So he went on and lived his life by just walking around the highway. Was he like in a family or
Well, let me finish the rest of the story here, okay?
Sorry.
So almost a year earlier, a young boy had died after doing the exact same thing. However, in Ray's case, he survived, but his life was forever changed, obviously. His nose, lips, ears, and eyes were all gone.
Oh, it's horrible.
Mhm. And he lost one of his arms completely.
God, he's lucky to have
from this.
survived,
Yeah.
though. Damn.
Yeah, amazingly, he survived.
That's crazy.
And as you can imagine, especially in this time period, he had a very tough time growing up. I mean, looking like this, right?
Dude,
He was,
poor
he,
kid.
He was ostracized by his family. He ate separately from them and
From
lived
his family?
Yeah,
What a bunch of fucks.
yeah. Terrible, right?
Yeah.
What's even worse, though, is that he had to eat separately from them, and he lived his whole childhood in one of the rooms in their Victorian house. But despite all of this, Ray still made very good use of his time. He started listening to baseball on the radio. He learned to read Braille because, again, his eyes are gone.
Yeah.
And he even started making wallets from old tires. And when he grew into adulthood, the family converted the garage into an apartment for him. And once his parents died, he began walking the Pennsylvania highways in order to just get out of the house, because he had been there basically his whole life, and he just wanted to get out there in the world and see what it was all about. So he just started taking walks
Yeah.
away from the house. And so that's when people would see him then. So people were seeing him walking around the highways. And of course, they didn't know the backstory on him. So they think it's this, crazy, unhuman creature walking around. But no, it's a real dude that's just out walking, and nobody had ever seen him before. But what's cool is that when the teens would go out at night to look for him and they actually make contact with him, they'd drink beer together, they'd smoke cigarettes and talk sports in the back of their cars with him.
Okay, that's so sweet.
Yeah. And so for the most part, Ray really enjoyed these encounters with them. He was like getting social interaction after being like locked away his whole childhood later on in life with teenagers who were out there looking for, this spectral monster. But in fact, it was this really nice guy who just had a really crazy childhood.
But he wasn't green.
A part of him was green because his nose was basically constantly an open wound. Like it could never fully heal. So
My God.
sometimes it would get infected and therefore it was green. So that's where the radioactivity part of it came from.
But just his nose was green?
Just his nose.
But the legend was that it's a green person.
Right. It changed from he's got a green nose to he's a green man.
From like word of mouth, the telephone situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
of course. How exciting to be like, oh my gosh, it's a green man. And yeah.
Well, it makes me feel happy that at least Ray was enjoying all of this.
Well, he enjoyed most of the encounters, but as you can imagine, there was a lot of people that were very mean to him as well.
Oh, damn it. Of course there had to be.
People would like pee in bottles and then give it to him to drink.
Oh my God.
yeah.
Fuck these people. Who are
Yeah,
they?
I mean, some people were just straight up mean and would drop him off at random remote places in the wilderness.
Oh my God.
And he would get beat up as well. So he actually began carrying a pistol with him.
Fuck yeah. Go Ray.
For those nighttime walks. But when these teens, who are now adults with families of their own, were interviewed about their time with Ray, they almost all broke down into tears. And some really regretted how they treated him. Yeah.
I'm glad. I hope it haunts you every day.
Because from everybody's encounters, it sounds like he was just like a really, really nice guy. And, a lot of them remembered, or miss his, friendly presence out there.
When did he pass away?
Yeah, Ray passed away in a nursing home in 1981 and is actually buried next to the boy who was electrocuted a year before him. And to this day, there are still fresh flowers placed at his grave.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
And
wild story.
what year was he born again?
1919.
He was 8 years old in 1919.
Okay, so he lived a long
1908.
life?
Or
what is that, like 90
No,
years? 80 years?
1909.
Yes, thank you.
1909 to 8, so...
My math is so bad.
He's in his he was in his 70s.
70,
Yeah, he lived a full life, yeah.
That's good. Oh, that's good for him.
And again,
Horrible, though.
For the most part, the people he interacted with were really, really nice. Like, truly, everyone's just like, yeah, he was just a regular dude. He liked to smoke cigarettes and talk about the pirates and drink beer. And like, he sounds like a real chiller.
Yeah, he does.
But there were just, there's teens. And,
Yeah.
unfortunately, people were cruel to him. And that's really, really sad because he seemed just really nice. There's a photo of him. I couldn't find it, but in the story I was reading, they were talking about seeing a photo of him, like, standing next to a girl who was like really excited to be with him. And the reporter was describing it as like really sweet to see that because it was probably like one of the only times he ever like got to touch a woman, and she was really excited.
Oh,
So yeah. Anyhow, it's a sweet story.
that was a good one.
Yeah, well, I think...
I mean, horrible, but
yeah.
You know what I mean.
Well, I like this because I think a lot of people, when you hear urban legend, you just assume that there's no truth to it whatsoever.
Yeah.
But sometimes urban legends have a lot more truth and reality than you would expect.
So do people claim to still see him or anything to this day walking around? Are there any like sightings?
Oh, like of his spirit, you mean?
Yeah.
There are not so much like, oh, we still see Ray walking, but the legend persists of like people who don't know that he was a real guy will still like go on the highway.
Like a majority of
Gotcha.
people out there probably still think this is just an urban legend, that there wasn't actually a guy.
Of people who know about it, yeah.
Exactly. So
Interesting. Well, shout out Ray.
yeah.
Rest in peace. I know there are a lot of you out there that feel the same as me when it comes to going to the mall and going especially in the dressing room. I hate the whole experience. I don't like the crowds. I just hate shopping in person. And I also really just struggle to dress myself. I just don't have that good of a fashion sense. And that's why I love using Stitch Fix. I have been using it personally for years, paying for it on my own. And it's just such an easy experience. All you do is, give them your size, your style, your budget preferences, and then you just order boxes when you want to and how you want to. There's no subscription required, and they will send you perfect for you pieces, plus outfit recommendations and styling tips. Then you just keep what you love and send the rest back. It could not be easier. My stylist will send me personalized pieces, and the fit is normally flawless because she's been working with me so long. I don't know how they do it. They just really start to figure you out what you're going to like. It's kind of like having your own personal style support person. There's no stores, no crowds, no stress, just personalized looks that you're going to love, and Stitch Fix makes it all so easy. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/milehigher. That's stitchfix.com/milehigher.
This next one, you probably remember when you first saw that first clown video pop onto your Facebook feed in 2016.
Oh, the car driving and then dude, that thing still fucking gets me sometimes. It's so scary.
Yeah, we'll show, if you don't remember that clip, we'll show you that original clip as well as some of the others that started surfacing, because I think we maybe even talked about this a little bit back in, maybe not though. We weren't podcasting in 2016, so never mind. Maybe you weren't. But
yeah, that was right before we started. I got by something like that the other night on TikTok. from the Nutter Butter account. Have you guys heard about the Nutter Butter account?
Yeah.
No, what the fuck?
Dude, it's
so
wild.
weird.
I like Nutter Butters.
Their TikTok account is fucking bizarre.
It's genius.
Yeah, it's
someone had a good idea. They're like, Nutter Butter's been around so long, so boring. No one really cares about us anymore. So someone in their marketing room must have come up with a brilliant idea to make it look like they're just on an acid trip.
constantly.
Their TikTok is wild. It's just all these weird videos that don't make any sense. And they had one like that where it was like, stare at the screen. And then it like something popped out and it freaked me the fuck out.
Nutter Butter.
It's a big thing right now. You should bring it up.
Okay.
Bring it up. It looks like an acid trip. You
There's
know,
even
the season's coming up.
There's a Today article about it.
It's a big story. Nadia.
Where's Nadia?
Wow. Yes.
What's wrong, sweetheart?
Here comes Nadia.
Where's
Nadia?
Wow.
Skibbity toilet.
Okay, Ian, listen. I'm old. I don't know what
I knew
skibbity
that was
toilet
coming.
is. I've been hearing this around a lot. What is skibbity toilet?
You know, there's a lot of lore. There's a lot of lore behind it.
But if we go back to that wonderful time, 2016, there were hundreds of videos of clowns and claims that they have been attacking people across the country.
Oh, I remember
remember
this.
this.
Clear.
Yeah.
I was terrified.
I was in college.
Yes, we were both in college together.
and it was so scary. Our college town was like
Freaking
Clown
shit.
Central.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then the videos just got crazier and crazier as time went on.
But wasn't it? I thought it was promotion for it or something,
Well,
or no one ever determined.
Well, let's take a look at the clips before we get to the.
Oh, is this what the story's about?
Mhm.
Okay.
What
Wait,
the fuck? No, this is not fucking happening.
Dude, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Oh, I remember this exact video.
same.
What?
So creepy.
Stop! 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 What are you doing? Go the other way! What are you doing? Stop! Stop! Oh my god! Stop! Stop! No! No!
Oh, what the dude!
Stop!
He didn't even put the car in like park. He just.
Oh my god!
These are not genuine reactions.
Oh my god!
Shit!
Fuck your fucking.
Did you run over him? Oh my! You ran over him! Dude, the car ran over him!
I think I fucking broke his leg or something.
Wait!
Or you just committed a murder.
No, go back! Go back!
The acting in this is
Go
insane.
back!
I think I fucking like. Look.
This is giving like early Logan Paul vibes.
This is definitely that era.
Yep.
too.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yo, that was fucking.
No, what's your name? Wait, how did this happen? Like, I didn't never expect.
Yo.
How
Boy,
did this happen?
So we kind of came looking and we weren't gonna tell you.
No, Blake
Wait.
is a fucking
Yo,
savage, though.
Oh no, no!
Oh shit!
We just committed a homicide. Oh my god, guys, that was crazy.
Nope. Psych, he's still here, baby.
Oh
Let's go.
shit!
These guys are so.
Dude, they're
For
committed.
being inside a car, which is a much bigger weapon than the rake the clown's pulling, they are terrified.
See, on closer inspection, the clown isn't even holding a rake. He's holding a broom. It's a push broom.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Like, oh my god! Oh my god!
Run his ass over.
All right, let's show you some other ones though here that started popping up here. This is a creepy clowns caught on police dash cam.
Okay.
So you got two clowns just hanging out with some of it.
Oh, I just realized I wasn't in college during this. You still were. I graduated.
Never.
Guys, you make lifting your hand moving to see him, alright?
They put their arms out.
Why'd you guys
I wonder if the
this
cop's
barrier
scared
right
at all.
here? What the fuck
Probably
is
not.
that?
I would be.
Well, especially because again, like I think we were all talking, especially in this era. Like I was terrified, bro.
Yeah.
Well, it's like,
Yeah.
especially if you guys have a fear of clowns, any of you?
I don't.
Not
Or were
really.
you ever scared of clowns?
I'm not thrilled by them.
Yeah, I don't
Not,
like
but
them.
like some people are
Yeah,
legit terrified of
yeah,
them.
mhm.
I wouldn't say it that. No.
But you guys, I feel like you're more scared if you've delved into the horror world a little bit more. Like,
Yeah.
you guys ever watch It or
No.
read those books or
No. Pennywise is gross looking.
go to like a
Big
haunted
part of
house
Yeah.
of clowns or anything?
Are you
Mm-mm.
scared of clowns, Josh?
I was for a period there.
that. Your brother's
As a
really scared of
teenager.
clowns.
My
right?
brother's really scared of E.T.
Well, yeah, he is also scared of ET. Not anymore.
But no, he was
He's like
also,
5.
and it's because I believe we went to a haunted house when we were teenagers, and there was this freaky ass clown in there,
Mhm.
and it like stuck with him and stuck with me for a little while.
I had an experience like that, but with mummies. I was really afraid of mummies for some
Ooh.
reason. So that particular clip, I don't know, that is also giving fake because wouldn't the officers, come on, they're already just worried because it's someone in a clown costume, kind of around the time of Halloween. Wouldn't they get out of the vehicle and be like, hey guys, what's up? What you doing? Before they're like, put your hands out.
Well,
like,
that's
make sure we can see
that's
your-"
a real footage. That's
yeah,
real
I know,
footage.
but what, were they trolling a little bit?
Who? The police?
Yeah,
Oh,
sometimes
God,
they get
I
on
hope
stuff.
not.
Sometimes
They're
they do stuff like
working.
that.
Well, they're
Well, they'll, like,
responding
participate
to
in, like, pranks
calls
and stuff.
right? They're responding to a call for service because somebody was like, "There's 2 clowns standing on the side of the road creeping us
Although
out."
being a clown is not
Oh.
illegal.
No,
yeah,
it's
so
not.
like, why? I just don't get the aggression to right away be like, keep your hands where we can see
Well,
them.
they always that's
Well,
like
they always do
standard.
that. That's standard protocol to be like, "Let me see your hands." Like,
Not to everyone they walk up to. Like if someone's just walking around, they don't
Well, yeah.
immediately say that.
Well,
They
they're-
say like, "Hey, what are you doing?" or something like that. What's going on?
You got to remember they're acting on what they're being called to. So my guess is that it's suspicious persons dressed in clown, and they don't know like what. Maybe they are fucking killer clowns running around.
Mhm. And
You know what I mean?
people
So they're
were
just being
scared.
careful. That's why they're
Okay.
asking to see their hands.
Okay.
Because yeah, they don't know. I mean, a cop doesn't know if it's a kid in a costume. They can't see what's in the waistband, or you know what I mean. They don't know, so that's why he's doing it. But
Okay.
Well, and like the reporting about all this at the time was like, there is a cabal of evil clowns
Yeah.
that are going to kill
Yeah,
you,
you're right.
You know?
You're right.
yeah,
There was
because
a big frenzy. It was nationwide.
Mhm.
then people started claiming they were being chased and
Yeah.
clowns were trying to kill them. I mean, here's another clip we can play too of someone talking about how they were chased by clowns. And again, where the clown's actually going to do anything, but still, it creates fear.
Yeah.
Reports of more bizarre and eerie clown sightings, this time in McDuffie County, Georgia.
I was standing over there and I was like, who's that guy following Cameron? And we saw a man with an all black on, clown mask on and like a red wig.
Oh boy. Well, they say they saw
Oh,
at least
boy.
2 men dressed in all black coming toward them. So they started running. Their parents called police. It's not the first time law enforcement has responded to a report like this across the region. It started in Greenville, South.
Yeah, it started in South Carolina, remember?
Creepy clown sightings are happening across the country, and it's no laughing matter. There are concerns
Nothing
that the
to laugh
trend
at.
will grow as Halloween approaches. Here's Jamie Yukas.
It's a trend spooking the nation, creepy clown sightings. Now they're threatening school districts. Police and Homeland Security are investigating scary Instagram posts in
That Donald
Philadelphia.
Trump?
The
Yeah.
posts from over the weekend all use the word clown. Some even talk about blowing up schools. The unusual reports started surfacing back in August in Greenville, South Carolina.
Right there at that tree back there.
Children told police that clowns tried luring them into woods by offering money. Since then, sightings keep increasing. On New York's Long Island, social media threats from anonymous clown accounts kept elementary children inside during recess.
Second clown, I guess he was kneeling.
Parent Kalik Owens.
Nobody knows how to defend against it because we don't know if it's a prank or if they're really trying to harm people.
Now police are using social media to track down the costumed offenders. In LaGrange, Georgia, police posted about issuing warrants for 4 people on charges of making terroristic threats and disrupting public schools. In Kentucky, this young man was arrested for trying to scare people in a ditch. Police
Yeah,
have
these
arrested at least
creepy
12 people
looking.
across the United States for participating in menacing stunts or making false reports. In Houston, Texas, this Instagram post shows clowns threatening to kidnap students or kill teachers. Parent Rochelle Hudson.
This would make me drive my daughter to and from school.
What's interesting is that I think this was started out as a innocent sort of prank, right? And the real answer to this is that it was, it started in August 2016 of a video of a clown over in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And it was meant as a campaign for a movie, an indie film that was coming out called Gags the Clown.
Yes, I remember that.
And so because of social media, which was what the film was hoping for, right? To get widespread attention on the film. But the problem is that it was never, clear that this is what it was.
So other people got inspired.
So other people got inspired and carried it on and made it widespread across the country.
Had to ruin the fun.
And then they really ruined the fun when they started making threats, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, that just kills the whole fun behind it. And it's now not just a funny prank, but a more serious situation where now law enforcement's having to arrest people because they're actually scaring people and making threats as a part of this whole sort of campaign that was going on. After a while, things got so crazy that people all over social media began organizing against the clowns, threatening to even kill anyone seen in a clown outfit. It was so bad that McDonald's began pulling Ronald McDonald from ads, print marketing, and even his statues in franchises across the country.
Wow.
That's
really?
how crazy this whole pandemonium got.
God, I didn't know that.
Because kids were terrified. Obviously, it was creating tons of issues. So then people went on the, offensive and were like, and obviously took it way too far. And we're organizing groups that were going to go out and like kill anyone in a clown costume to try to like end this whole thing.
Wasn't this like really bad for the clown industry too? From what I remember, I thought it would like really damaged clown reputation.
It did,
their, like ability to get jobs.
It did, and they were like begging people to stop.
Yeah,
because it was affecting.
It's all coming back to me now.
I mean, it was associating all clowns as being bad and threatening, and obviously that's not what clowns are.
No one wanted clowns at birthday parties or Halloween attractions at the time. Yeah.
What's crazy, and what's crazy is that there was even a 1,000 person mob at Penn State that roamed the campus after a student saw a clown stalking the campus.
1,000 people got out there to hunt down the clown?
Yes.
Like get your pitchforks type thing? Wow.
Yep. Atlas Obscura has compiled a map of every official clown sighting during that 2016 craze. And almost all of them, when looking into them, were hoaxes or just people taking part.
Can I see the map? Oh, wow. God.
Yeah. So it really took like the whole nation by storm.
Whoa. Yeah.
And it should have stayed this innocent film campaign, and it turned into a more violent matter, which is unfortunate.
The East Coast really got hit.
Yeah.
In the South, Florida. Not surprising, not gonna lie.
Yep. And what's really sad is like as a result of all this and the fact that people were starting to, go on the offensive against anyone with a clown, is a 16-year-old who was wearing a clown costume ended up getting murdered.
Oh my God.
Because people were so just the fear. I mean, the fear of these clowns being out there.
Jesus.
Got so great, which is obviously just, makes this whole thing not even worth it at the end of the day. Like, why even try to get this sort of craze going? People are going to get freaked out. People are going to get crazy with it. That, unfortunately, somebody ended up being murdered as a result of this whole clown craze, which is just crazy.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, I know.
God.
Yeah, it's sad because like at the end of the day, like the fears of the clowns was always like, oh my God, they're going to come and they're going to kill us. But in reality, the only real terror there was the people who were so scared by this that they would actually take it to that level of violence.
God, that's nuts.
Yeah.
So sad. 16 years old.
Yeah.
God, that's terrible.
Probably just doing it because it's fun and, you just want to, it's supposed to be kind of this spook thing that you do. But
God.
It just went way, way too far. And then and it hasn't happened since. I think there's been like every now and then you hear about somebody seeing a clown, but now it's just like, you can't even really do things like that anymore because this is what can happen. People just take it way too far and somebody always ends up getting hurt. So,
especially in America.
As many of you guys know, we have a lot of pets at home, and out of our 10 pets, we have 3 kitty cats that we absolutely love: Meatball, Lily, and Tucker. And so it's very important that we feed them good quality food. For many years, we fed them just whatever we got at the grocery store, and man, the amount of throwing up that happened was just kind of getting insane.
But the big difference was when it came to Smalls, our cats would actually eat it because we would try to give them healthier brands and they refused.
Yeah, they're very picky when it comes to new foods, as many cats are. I don't know, there's something about cats. They just know what they like and what they don't like, and no matter how hungry they are, they just will turn their noses up to certain foods. But yeah, Smalls cat food, they truly love. If you're not familiar with Smalls cat food is very high quality. The recipes are protein packed and they're preservative free. So it's food that you've got to keep in the fridge because it's truly that fresh. And every time I get the Smalls cat food out, all the cats come a running and they never leave a scrap in the bowl when they're done. They absolutely love it. And it's no wonder so many people have started using Smalls cat food. And the best thing about it is it's delivered right to your door, so you don't have to go out and get it anymore. Another thing that we love about Smalls is that they work with the Humane Society. They've donated over $1 million worth of food to help cats through the Humane Society, and they even give you a chance to donate at checkout, whether you donate $3 for treats, or $5 for vaccines, or $7 for spay or neutering. After switching to Smalls, 88% of cat owners reported overall health improvements. And I can say from personal experience, our cats definitely seem happier, healthier, lots of energy, and they just seem to be thriving. So give your cat the gift of great cat food this holiday season. Head over to smalls.com/milehire and use promo code milehire at checkout for 50% off your first order plus free shipping. That's the best offer you'll find, but you have to use our code milehire for 50% off your first order. One last time, that's promo code milehire for 50% off your first order plus free shipping. This next story is definitely a serious one. It's just absolutely insane.
Okay.
And just forewarning, this does deal with self-harm. So if that, is something that is difficult for you, I would probably just skip this last story. But it is crazy and hard to believe that this happened. So this takes place in St. Petersburg, Florida. And just before dusk, waves were crashing across the shoreline and a group of middle school students and their teacher gathered on the pier. She held out a knife and a lighter and instructed her students to cut themselves to release their inner demons that had been corrupting them.
What the fuck?
Yes, their teacher. The students did so, believing that the evil spirits had infected them since the teacher began telling them over a month ago. So she's brought all of her students out here to participate in essentially a blood ritual.
Oh my God.
After the wounds had been self-inflicted, the teacher held up a lighter to cauterize them.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And when the wind blew out the flame from the lighter for one student, the teacher doused their hand in perfume before lighting it again. And the flame illuminated the faces of the teenagers who still believed every word of their teacher. She ended up cutting one of the students on the neck with a broken bottle and then heated a small key to seal the wound. But the teacher ended the ritual once every student had been burned, and the teacher told them to not speak of this to anyone. But still, this one ritual would not be enough, and she told them that they would return to the pier until each and every one of the young students no longer had the demons infesting their bodies.
What grade were they in?
This was middle school.
It's
Yes,
it's
middle
unclear,
school.
but like between 7th and 8th grade.
Oh my God. I wonder how many students.
I think it was like 6 or 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not the entire class.
Yeah,
but-
this was this is a much smaller school.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, and of course this story is very real. This sounds almost crazy and made up, but this actually did happen. And here's the news clip reporting on this story. It's just crazy.
A teacher at a community center in Pinellas County is facing child abuse charges tonight after police say she encouraged her students to cut each other. It was all part of a bizarre cleansing ritual. Fox 13 Steph DiPietrantonio is here now to tell us more about what was going on. Steph?
Hey there, Kelly. Danielle Harkins is in jail tonight accused of some pretty horrific things. St. Pete police say she convinced a group of 7 former students of hers to cut their skin to let the evil spirits out and then burn the wounds so the spirits couldn't get back into their bodies.
Oh my God.
The parents of the 7 victims, 6 boys and 1 girl, might call Danielle Harkins the face of evil. Saturday, St. Pete police say she gathered the kids in a park near the pier, built a small fire.
There was apparently some chanting and dancing around this fire that was taking place.
And then police say she encouraged them to cut each other in some sort of demonic ritual to release the evil spirits from their bodies.
They would follow that up with some sort of cauterization of the wound to keep the evil spirits from getting back into the body.
This closing of the wound was done by heating a small key. Harkins is also accused of using perfume to fuel the so-called branding of a 16-year-old boy.
They placed like a cologne or perfume on his hand and then ignited that.
Police say they're having a tough time with the interviews.
The kids that participated in this were rather loyal to her. There was a lot of reluctance in discussing some of these issues with us.
Danielle
Harkins is charged with 1 count of child abuse, 1 count aggravated battery. You might wonder, how could this story get any creepier? But police believe there's more we don't know yet. I rang Harkins' doorbell, but no one answered. Harkins' neighbors didn't want to go on camera. They said there's not much to say. They don't know much about her. They said she kept to herself, had 2 small children, but was struggling going through a messy divorce.
It's bizarre. It's bizarre.
The kids are former students of Harkins at the Leoman and Asian Neighborhood Family Center. Director Carolyn Chance showed me where Harkins worked the last 5 years.
She was a very good teacher, literacy specialist. Just recently, she started exploring religion, but I didn't know anything about demons or anything like that.
You've been in the business almost 50 years.
A long time.
You know how to read people.
I never saw this coming. Never.
Harkins is in jail on $55,000 bail. Now, we're told her 2 small children are staying with her ex-husband.
That is wild.
Yeah, it's just so weird because it seems like, based on what we know, this just kind of like came out of nowhere. Like she just happened upon some, and we don't even know exactly what, religion or text she was learning this from. Obviously the media goes straight to, this is demonic. This is some type of satanic worship or devil worshiping. But there's blood rituals and a number of different practices and faiths out there. So we don't know exactly. And again, this makes it seem like very evil, which it's a terrible, terrible thing to do, right? To have children participate in this with you.
Pretty evil. Yeah.
And it's really bizarre to think like why, she by all accounts was this great teacher. The students that she did this with all, went out there with her and did it and didn't even want to talk about her because, they all liked her. And so it's just this very bizarre like twist that happens.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's terrible,
she's now leading
yeah,
them in this
like,
ritual of some sort, and why, and what are they doing it for?
Seems like, she was probably struggling mentally, I'd assume.
Yeah. Or doing, I'd be curious to know what they were actually chanting and, what was actually more of the details of the ritual that they were doing. Cause it might lend some more.
Oh my God. Imagine how fucking mad you would be as a parent.
Oh yeah. It's insane. It's like, what on earth is happening here?
God, lucky nothing worse happened. That could have been really bad.
Yeah.
One of them had like caught fire or
right
had a really bad cut. Could have been really bad.
Yeah. Terrible all the way around for sure. And what's really weird about this story too, is it seems like it just disappeared off the face of the earth. Like there is literally, all we know is that she had a $55,000 bond. She's facing a felony, I believe, for the charges they gave her, but there is no follow-up on what happened to her. There's no articles about we don't even know if she served jail time.
Whoa.
We have no idea what happened to her, and you can't find, if anybody out there can find any more details on what happened to Danielle Harkins, like I'd be curious, because we looked and there is nothing on this teacher. And you would think for a story like this that there would be like follow-up. There's nothing.
Like people would demand answers.
There's nothing.
Whoa.
Which kind of adds to the mystery a little bit of like what was really going on there and what were they doing and what was she into? It's just all very disturbing.
God, I'm
and
glad
bizarre.
Everyone was okay. The kid, really bad.
Yeah, the kid who had perfume had some, I believe, like second-degree burns on his hand from that. But yeah,
horrible.
Just like, what did she tell them?
Yeah,
like to convince them to do that. And obviously
it's like easier to manipulate
Totally,
your
yeah.
vulnerable minds, you know?
Totally.
Especially when if they really liked her and looked up to her, or trusted her.
Right. Like these were former students of hers who
Mhm.
she had kept in touch with. So they obviously had some sort of close bond, to the point where the only reason police found out about it was because one of the students who was involved texted their friend about it, and then their friend told that student's parents.
Yeah. This is also crazy to me because on Lights Out, we just covered this. I don't even really know what to call it. Like, it's known as a cult online, and it's called Blood Over Intent. And it's kind of the same idea of blood rituals. So bloodletting, people are pricking their finger, they're writing out their intentions on a piece of paper and then smearing their blood on it, because blood magic is supposed to be, you know, it's like blood is the spiritual currency. Like if you add blood to any sort of magic ritual, that it gives it more power and it's more bonding. And, you know, there's a lot of other reasons to it. But there's this whole group that was doing this and posting videos to YouTube. And it's just very, very bizarre. And there was people of all ages, all walks of life participating in this Blood Over Intent. There was even videos of like parents and their children doing it.
Oh my God.
Like, and again, like pricking they're not like slicing big wound. They're like literally just pricking their fingers and then smearing the blood on the paper, but truly believing in the power behind this blood over intent, and that it's, you know, going to will these things into the universe. And it's just bizarre. Like, some of the rituals, and I'm just like, oh, so weird. Where does it, you know, how do people find this stuff? But what you learn is that, and I think it kind of lends back to what you said about Danielle's mental state at this time, was that she was going through this tumultuous divorce. And so she was probably looking for different avenues to help her deal with that. She just stumbled upon some type of blood magic.
Yeah. And who else
ritual
knows what else was going on?
But why bring the kids into that? That's what's weird to me, is why did she then involve her students in that? Did she think that was going to somehow like amplify the ritual she was doing?
That she was like, did she genuinely believe she was like saving them?
Well,
she was also in court over a ongoing sexual assault injunction against her ex-husband, and it had failed twice before. So it makes me wonder if maybe she was doing this because she felt some like type of control over the children and like actually had some power over the situation.
Yeah, I could see that.
Really bizarre. But if you can find anything on what happened to her after, you know, all we know is basically from that news clip that she was facing this charge, but we have no follow-up whatsoever. I guess probably could go pull public records somehow on her and figure out what happened. But as far as like media coverage, there was nothing. And you'd think they would follow up on this story, but can't find anything whatsoever.
Huh. And
so very bizarre.
Yeah, no, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry to end us on a more serious note, but hopefully some of them were a little bit more entertaining for you. But that is all the stories for today. I would definitely want to know, have you heard of these before?
I found this really interesting. I would love to do other episodes like this. I wonder if you guys have any stories out there that you would recommend.
Yeah,
we take
just
a look at.
like more off the wall, like things that don't have quite as much, you know, information to them, and they're just really bizarre, creepy, weird.
Leave a lot of wondering.
Yeah, yeah. Let us know. But with that being said, we will see you guys all
just
next
went down.
week.
Shrunk a foot.
But until next time,
keep on taking your mind a mile higher.